Greetings, welcome to another show of Counterpunch with Trevor Loudon, exposing the unfolding world communist revolution. Well, today we're going to focus on Texas, the great state of Texas. You wouldn't really think of Texas as a hotbed of communism, but I'm telling you it is. It's a critical state and the communists are targeting it big time. Now the reason is simple. Texas has 38 electoral college votes. California has 55. A presidential election is won by the first candidate to get to 270 electoral college votes. So California has Texas, 55, that's theirs locked in. So the Democrats have that locked in 55 California votes right now. Texas, the Republicans have 38. So they have these two big states and they fight amongst themselves to get the biggest number of electoral college votes they can from the remaining 48 states. But if Republicans lose Texas, it's all over. This will be a one-party state America going onwards. So that's why the Democrats and the communists and their Chinese masters are focusing very, very heavily on Texas. And there are some in Texas who think Texas is going to be red forever. Like Virginia was red forever, like Arizona was red forever, like Georgia was red forever. Texas, if something isn't changed, could go blue in 2 to 3 election cycles forever. So I'm hoping that won't happen, and I want to expose one of the key organizations that's working to make that happen so that hopefully somebody in the state, some legal authorities, start looking at this organization very, very closely. The organization I'm referring to is called the Texas Organizing Project, TOP. Now, I've spoken at length in some of my programs about the Chinese-backed network of electoral organizations working around the country, mainly controlled by Liberation Road, the Chinese communist group that gave us Black Lives Matter as one of their many gifts to this country. In Detroit, they have Detroit Action. In Wisconsin, they had Black Leaders Organizing Communities in Milwaukee. They have Pennsylvania Stands Up, the New Georgia Project, the New Virginia Majority, which uses maps generated by a Liberation Road communist working out of the geography department of Wuhan University, China, to flip districts in Virginia.
Because that's an easy structure to follow. Introduction, methods.
A lot of the students I've talked to, they're happy to be back and happy to be seeing people face to face.
There's the Carolina Federation in North Carolina, the New Florida Majority. These groups are all allied with TOP, with Texas Organizing Project. They're all part of a network, and their job is to mobilize the Black, Latino, Asian minority communities in their states to win them for the Democratic Party. That is their job. Now, Texas has several of these groups. They have Battleground Texas, etc., Our Revolution, but I'm going to focus on Texas Organizing Project because it's really one of the oldest, it's the most organized, and I think it's probably the most dangerous. Now, the Texas Organizing Project works heavily in minority communities, almost exclusively in Dallas County, Dallas, Harris County, which is of course Houston, and Bexar County, which is San Antonio. The 3 big population centers. They don't have to worry too much about Austin because Austin already leans pretty heavily Democrat. TOP used to be Texas Acorn, right? It was Acorn. You know, the fraudulent voter registration organization was exposed about 10 years ago by Glenn Beck and others that criminal charges were filed, places were raided, they were doing vote fraud, they were doing all sorts of dodgy stuff, exposed by Project Veritas, and they were brought down. But what they did was just reincarnate under other names, and in Texas, it's the Texas Organizing Project. The 2 main leaders of Texas Organizing Project, Jenny Goldman and Michelle Tremillo, are both ex-Texas Acorn leaders. Jenny Goldman is out of the organization now, but Michelle Tremillo is very much part of the leadership. Michelle Tremillo trained at Stanford University, and there's a big Stanford University connection here. and also the Rockwood Leadership Institute, which is sort of a training school for Acorn types, Liberation Road communists. It's basically a communist training school situated in the Bay Area. The other main leader of Texas Organizing Project is Crystal Zermino. She was also at Stanford University. She was in MACHA. That was the radical Chicano group that believed that the southern part of the United States should be returned to Mexico. A communist group. Most of the MACHA people were part of the League of Revolutionary Struggle, the pro-Chinese communist group that dominated Stanford University politics at the time. Now, incidentally, veteran San Antonio activist Rosie Castro serves on the Texas Organizing Project board. Now, she used to work with the Communist Party USA back in the 70s in the campaign to free Angela Davis from jail, where she was up on charges of accessory to the murder of a California judge. Now, also on the board of the Texas Organizing Project is a man called Bernard Sampson, who just happens to be the head of the Houston Communist Party. In San Antonio, just in the last few weeks, the Texas Organizing Project endorsed and helped to elect Ron Nirenberg, the new mayor of that city. And they also elected two bona fide Democratic Socialists of America Marxists, Jalen McKee Rodriguez and Terry Castillo, to the San Antonio City Council. So they elected top elected two Marxists to the San Antonio City Council. The communists are working overtime to flip Texas because Texas is the prize. If they can take Texas, they have America. And all they really need to do is pour lots and lots of money. Well, this is what they think they need to do. Pour lots and lots of money into Bexar, Harris, and Dallas County, energize the minorities, run candidates of color, make sure the local Communist Party, Democratic Socialists of America, Texas Organizing Project are well funded, and it's only a matter of time until they achieve their goal. Well, they've been trying for a while, and it hasn't quite worked, but they are making progress. The people of Texas have been standing up. They don't want to lose their state. Now think about this, folks. You got 100,000 people coming across the border every year. Biden is going to give those people citizenship and voting rights. And guess which party they're going to vote for? They're not going to be voting Republican. They're going to be voting Democrat. So to save Texas, these networks must be shut down. And people say, well, they're just doing what is legal. They're just signing people up to vote. First of all, they're connected directly to Communist China. They are part of a network that uses Chinese maps and material, that sends people to Communist China, that takes directions from Chinese diplomats. So that is a grounds for an investigation right there. You know, we've already seen Trump shut down the Chinese consulate in Houston because they're working with local radicals.
Time is ticking, closer to the U.S. ordered closure of the Chinese consulate in Houston. One lawmaker calling it a massive spy center. On Tuesday, video shows what appears to be people burning documents in the consulate's courtyard.
Well, I wonder if any of them were working with the Texas Organizing Project. Also, Texas Organizing Project used to be Acorn. Acorn was well known for its criminal activity, its vote fraud, its scams. Do you think they have changed? Do you think they have no longer do vote fraud or anything legal? Do you think they don't go into old people's homes and sign up hundreds of people for the Democratic Party? Surely they wouldn't do anything like that, would they? So there is ample grounds for investigation. And if you want to save Texas, you have to have the leadership of the Texas legal fraternity. You have to have the Attorney General. You have to have people in Texas actively investigating top and similar organizations. Otherwise, you will lose your state. And when you lose Texas, we all lose America. And when we lose America, we lose the free world for about 1,000 years. So maybe it's just worth doing and taking a little bit of flack. A little bit of flack to save your state and save your country and save your civilization. What do you think? I hope this has given you a little bit of insight into what's happening in Texas. This is happening in Georgia. This is happening in Florida. This is happening in North Carolina. This is happening in Virginia. I've already exposed much of this, but people need to be really serious about Texas, because if we lose Texas, we lose everything. So I hope you will circulate this program. I hope you'll like the show and share the show. Send this to every Texas legislator you know, every school board member, every county commissioner. They will see TOP working their own turf. They will know who these people are, but they need to be investigated and they need to be shut down. So I hope you found this interesting. I hope you'll share the show as widely as you possibly can. I hope we can save Texas, because saving Texas is a big part of saving Western civilization. So thank you so much for watching. God bless America, God bless Texas, and God bless every one of you. Thank you.